Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very much quiet, have a wonderful, blessed, great morning, and a great day, great morning indeed. Despite that, guys, I'm very quietly sorry for actually shooting this late. As you know, I was quietly walking my dog and quietly still training her as well, and also quietly doing my house chores as well, which you always know that Fridays is a bit of a different time schedule that I'm actually shooting. But despite that, guys, I'm still highly, supremely grateful for you guys' support and for you guys viewing and watching my episodes and commenting from TikTok and from shorts and from long videos. And from those of you who are quietly still subscribing on my channel on YouTube and from TikTok, very much means completely a lot to me. And I'm very supremely grateful for you guys. And I'm also very quietly happy that I'm managing to inspire some of you guys. And I'm also very quietly thankful for you guys as well. And also to helping me exactly move forward and also to exactly helping me move forward with them stories and supervillain, and also making it very highly interesting for some of you guys as well, which all of you guys, I know that you quietly found it very interesting as well, which also which also some of you guys can actually understand their stories and also their background as well. Either way, let me not exactly waste any time for those who are exactly doing for those who I'm exactly doing shorts for today, and make it quickly short. Have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed weekend. I will see you on next week Monday. For those of you actually watching YouTube, we'll receive it on Monday morning when we move on the next episode on Monday. But for those of you watching shorts and TikTok, you'll receive the episode today. So let me not exactly stop delaying any more time and get straightly to business. But despite that, guys, please try to like and subscribe to my channel. Would also mean gratefully a lot to me. And like that button, and also continue to hit it up on TikTok and in YouTube and below yours channel, which you'll find it in YouTube. With that being said, have a blessed weekend and take care of yourself. On today's episode, we're to speak about the ancient godlike being known as the Sacred Founder, to which I've been able to mention it several times throughout the following episodes that have been exactly been explaining to you guys that these creatures and these beings and their great ancient progenitor were one of the most powerful legendary ancient founding like godlike monks and beings who are quietly rumored to be known throughout sacred history's greatest infamous legendary stories and powerful ancient tales to be one of the most godlike beings able to walk the entire sacred universe before all of sacred history and the entire sacred events of the entire sacred world and of the rest of the known ancient universes, such as the golden universe, the Mixel robotics dark universe, star universe, and as well as the over universe, and as well as the over universe, as well as other ancient many universes, that these ancient godlike beings, that these ancient precise godlike beings were the first progenitor of their kind before the next generation of their species began able to highly adapt and evolve due to their great genetic DNA of their powers and of their spiritual cosmic powers and their ancient abilities and techniques as well. This sacred founder was one of the most powerful, purest, and one of the most deadliest legendary ancient of all the other ancient progenitor before sacred history was ever recorded and ever known, before the species of the vampires, werewolves, four-nation hunters, other supernatural creatures and alien species and superhuman races and different types of hybrids or any other genetic DNA. He was the first of his kind after the great gods of light recreated the Big Bang of the sacred universe. Then they began exactly recreating the next species, the first of the species, granting them greater enormous amount of tremendous power and ancient godlike abilities as well. So with that being said, let us continue. Before sacred history was ever recorded, ever recorded throughout the great ancient years, 4,000 millennia, many millennia ago, throughout the milestone ancient years, the great sacred founder was the one walking the sacred worlds before all the clans and all the other creatures were ever born. It is said that he only desired the true meaning of peace and prosperity and harmony for his descendants and for his other descendants and for the other kind of his people, to which there were other sacred founders, to which I also mentioned to you guys that he was not the only one, but this one is a very special one, more special than the others one. That I'll tell you about him more, but as we continue. Despite that, he walked the entire sacred worlds entire mortal plane and structures, as he believed that all of this needed to be done for a higher purpose and for a higher calling, as he knew that there was a war going on between other ancient founders of the golden founder of the golden universe, the star universe's star founder, and of the other dark founder of the dark universe, and of the over universe of the over founder, who are completely waging war for soul control and for sole domination over the sacred universe. The sacred founder discovered that he must completely stop the star founder before he fully, completely plunges his soul control over his own realm and over his own dominion, to which he cannot allow his descendants and the rest of his other descendants of his kind and of his species and of all of these other natural offsprings to be wiped out, so that the star universe race and of his people can live in this universe, in this ancient universe, and in this ancient world, where they'll be able to exactly begin a full dominance over his kind and over his people. To that end, the sacred founder began practicing dark, powerful, mythical techniques. The techniques that these ancient supervillains that I told you in the other previous episodes have been willing to exactly learning and to obtaining the power, so they can increase their immortality rate, and they can increase their immortality rate and their gifted abilities and the unique techniques and powers as well in the process. These techniques would include the life creation technique, the shadow creation technique, the light creation technique, the over technique, and the power technique, and the art of creation, and the blood creation, and the moon creation, and the scepter creation, and the water creation, and earth and fire creation, and lightning all creation, using base formable powers of the great elemental energy source, and the base formable power of the cosmic source, and the base formable power of life and that source. The sacred founder discovered that it's time that his powers began to be made. Through that end, he created greater, powerful, ancient mythical temples across the entire sacred world, throughout the entire sacred universe's clans and rural villages across all of them, to which manages to draw some of the locals' attention, as he quietly granted them greater spiritual powers and greater spiritual energy, as they all pledged their allegiances and loyalty to the mighty sacred founder, stated to them that they will remain his loyal followers, and that they will always exactly complete and learn about his ancient ways and his ancient teachings. To that end, the mighty sacred founder exactly told the great of his acolytes that he has a war and a huge battle that he must exactly conclude with, to stopping it before it reaches through the borders of the sacred universe, to which it must not exactly reach the borders of the sacred universe. His followers exactly told him that all the techniques and all the secrets and all the teachings that he manages to teach them, that he will pass it down among his own people and among his own followers and his own people as well, so that they can use these gifts, so that they can use these supernatural gifts and powers for the right reasons, rather for the destructive reasons as well. To that end, the sacred founder began a huge campaigning battle against the star founder, to which both godlike, powerful, supreme, immortal beings wage war against each other. The entire sacred universe and the entire star universe, worlds and atmosphere of the planets began highly changing due to the atmosphere rate of their godlike, superior spiritual powers, that proving that they are, after all, superior godlike beings and highly powerful ones at best as well. To that end, both of them fought through exhaustion, as the entire worlds and planets and star system became highly decimated, with the land itself as well. The sacred founder realizes that the mighty star founder is more powerful and more highly trained in his greater supernatural traits and powers and abilities, due to him getting more highly expertise and more highly greater help. To that end, the sacred founder exactly thought that it's best that he does a very ancient technique that might precisely separate the two universes that are fully in close proximity, meaning the actual Milky Way, instead of fully in close, they are like literally almost like close into proximity, as they're about to fully create a collision. So he thought that it's time for other universes to guard their separate ways, by making sure that the four universes remain completely close, but literally in close, but not exactly in far close proximity, in order to create a powerful distance of energy and magic, so that the powers and the natural energy that flows across the entire sacred ancient universes must remain to its rightful place, and the other must remain to its rightful orderly place. To that end, he used the great forbidden universal technique known as the technique of art of power, to where he literally used the power of cosmic energy, so powerful enough that it literally separated and splintered all the universes of the golden star universes, separating them completely, as in literally dividing them completely from the opposite ends, that one Milky Way will end to the other side or the other will end to the other side, but the four of them are still in the exact position. But the only problem is that they're literally quietly being separately, distantly, in a very quietly distant place of the entire known universe as well. To that end, the Sacred Founder exactly discovered that his mission has been highly done, and that the Star Founder will not pose a threat to his universe and to the rest of his kind and to the rest of his species as well. To that end, the Sacred Founder continued his journey and his long mission in trying to make sure that his work and his legacy of peace and harmony for his descendants and for his kind will remain the same as always. For the past following ancient millennia of the milestone millennial time, the other ancient founders of the Sacred Founders were also quietly present at that time, to where they were able to create a powerful ancient white shrine of great power and of great power and of great traumatic great power and of great power and of great energy, to which possess white energy and white power, respecting of their godlike abilities that their followers thought that it's best for them to exactly have a shrine of their own, to which the children of destiny were yet born at that time. To each child of destiny was conceived with a very special, unique ability, others of them highly evolved, others of them highly adapted due to the mutation of their great genetic powers and of their great genetic DNA as well. The Sacred Founder discovered that his descendants do possess a greater enormous amount of power and a greater mega powerful energy or power, to which he can sense from a far predicament. To that end, he thought that it's best to test the children of destiny's powers and of their energy to see exactly what use will they exactly be able to will they be able to benefit his descendants, who will be able to live in much more longer throughout the rest of sacred society. To which the children of destiny fared well, as they benefited well. To that end, more children of prophecy began highly being highly conceived and being reborn over again throughout the following ancient years and the following ancient time, as the Sacred Founder of the sacred world began to realize that the sinister forces of evil are beginning to highly start to corrupt the other children of destiny, which the other child of destiny's powers and greater abilities were highly different from the others, as he possessed a dark magical energy of dark magic, spiritual dark energy of dark magic, to which the Sacred Founder began to believe that this will be the first step for more powerful dark forces will be highly powerful, as the other's powers began to evolve some sort of supernatural mutation ability, like a werewolf transformation, while the other began adapting some sort of Four-Nation hunter-like abilities, the other supernatural traits and magical fairy-like abilities, realizing that these species are now going to be fighting amongst each other, and the rightful progenitors will be at war with each other, which will create an endless cycle of destruction and of chaos for the far future calamity. To that end, the Sacred Founder entered the ancient winter forest cave, to where he began literally creating a blood ritual energy, to where he created a powerful mythical creature known as the Black Bear and known as the White Bear. These creatures possess the power of creating high grade substantial power of literally amplifying one powerful dark creature and one powerful dark being, and one great good creature 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 of light, and the other which is a creature of darkness will literally empower the creature of great darkness, as the Sacred Founder believed that the power balance must be maintained and it must be respected at all time. These creatures, which he manages to create more and more, and he decided it's best to scatter them across the entire magical forest and across the entire sacred natural world. To that end, he discovered that these monsters are not like the other monsters of the dark dimension. So he thought that it's best to create a powerful imprisonment world of the sacred natural world and of the sacred natural supernatural natural world, and of the sacred natural world of the magical world, and of the sacred natural world of the sacred universe of the sacred great nations, to which that these monsters will remain in this country, in their own countries, where the others will roam free whenever they want to, but the progenitors and founders, who the Sacred Founder was able to precisely actually meet and encounter, exactly warned the Sacred Founders that these creatures will be forced one day to live out and to go into sacred society and begin their full destiny and their purpose by making sure that their dominance is well known one way or the other, as the progenitor of these creatures exactly stated by warning the sacred founder that disastrous consequences in the far future will occur because these creatures will begin to also highly adapt and highly evolve through to their great genetic powerful supernatural traits and the abilities as his descendants are also doing the exact same thing. So will also be able to reply to the exact same thing of his own descendants. The sacred founder realizes that a huge ancient calamity will occur, and he does it its best to making fail-safes that will ensure the survival of the entire sacred universe and the rest of its sacred societies. He went through the ancient cave to where he began conducting powerful magical ability like magical abilities of power to where powerful ancient orbs were highly being created. Each orb and each power, where he called them the great fates, the great fates of the entire sacred universe, and the other fates were highly created as he told the other fates that he puts his full faith through them, that they'll be the ones conducting the ancient prophecies and the ancient destiny prophecies of the sacred universe and of the rest of the other known worlds and sacred great nations, making sure that each child of prophecy born will be gifted the higher power, since the others have managed to have strayed for their full purpose and the others have gone to their darkest purpose in order to know their full extent of their potent full potential of their dark powers, of their dark spiritual power and energy, and of the full extended power of their great ability, while the other ones have chosen the path of good, not for the path of great destruction. As the fates reassured the great progenitor, then that is exactly what they'll do as well. On the great milestone ancient year, the sacred founder fought the great ancient Omega battle, as in the ancient Colossus Omega ancient battle against his own brethren and sisters, known also as the ancient Omega founders. How they became the Omega founders was also highly intrigued to the sacred founder because their bloodline and their genetic DNA began highly adapting. The sacred founder became highly concerned, seeing that his own relatives had begun highly adapting through greater Omega abilities, Omega supernatural abilities, and superhuman mutation abilities, so powerful and so destructive, which created a huge destruction on the other old worlds and planets and civilization. To that end, he warned the Omega founders that he would not destroy them and that he would not completely harm them. But the Omega founders exactly told them after the great battle, after they all fought the greater battle, that their species will also become the higher superior species above his own species, to which they will form an ancient organization that will last longer and live longer, especially long enough to plunge its influence through human society to creating powerful, dangerous, elite super criminals and operatives of their own who will aid them on their ultimate purpose and dark goal of an ambition, to which they precisely warn the sacred founder about that as well. To which the sacred founder did exactly not take that warning kindly, likely as he's seen that the Omega founder's powers and abilities have been highly substantially drained due to the great battle that they quietly fought, and he realized that they'll go back to hypersleep and hibernation, remaining in stasis hibernation, or remaining in a hyperstasis pod, so that they can preserve their powers and their greater energy and their greater abilities. Realizing that what the Omega founders were stating, or what the mighty Omega founders were actually saying, due to the supernatural werewolf ability and powers, the first Omega werewolf was quietly born, and the first Omega vampire was quietly born, and the first Omega fairy witch and the fairy Omega warlock, druid, witch, faithful, and 4 nation hunters were already born, proving that the mutation and that their DNA and their spiritual powers now are officially adapting and highly evolving as well. On the ancient milestone year, the sacred founder was quietly resting upon his ancient cave, the one that he quietly built and formed, creating ancient paintings and ancient drawings, leaving ancient words and ancient glyphs and hieroglyphics of everything that exactly had come to be, and especially how the druid had become a powerful hybrid druid, how a dark witch became a hybrid witch, and also leaving a powerful forbidden art technique known as the art creation technique, to which described an ancient painting of him literally using it and how he was able to exactly use it at will, living for many forbidden dark secrets through ancient temples ancient caves, ancient writings of how everything became to be. He even exactly discovered that the sacred beast must be kept hidden from the shadows of the entire sacred society, because after he's dead, that beast and that creature's power will be used for the darkest and most powerful, darkest evil plans that the most powerful, unknown, elite, ancient force of evil will be able to realize that that creature possesses greater power that they must utilize for their own goals. As his followers exactly begin to reassure him that the goals and plans will be substantial, and they'll make sure that the sacred great nations and clans will not be able to locate the beast or the creature or try to find its true base of origin. As he quietly said it to them. Over the following ancient milestone century years, the sacred founder journeyed to many, many star system, worlds, planets, civilizations, spreading his power and his legendary work and his spiritual energy and powers to many, many dozen species and dozen civilizations, making sure that he created the connection of peace, harmony, love, balance, and restoration and great harmony, and also great sacred balance and great sacred prosperity, love and care and honor through many thousand races and species, as he exactly told them that they must continue his work and his teachings in a different way, as he has learned that they are powerful dark witches and dark greater powerful forces of evil from his own bloodline who are now willing to conquer and rule everything as well. Near to the end of the great ancient century of the milestone, the great sacred founder was quietly lying on his deathbed as his loyal sons and daughters and also children, since his wife was quietly also the older one as well, she was also quietly dying as well from her death. But as both of them laid on the deathbed, and exactly his sons and daughters exactly reassured the mighty founder that they will continue his work and teachings and making sure that all the descendants and the people will not misuse their powers and their abilities for the greater good. He told them, the great sacred founder exactly told his sons and daughters that may the light of the great gods of light shine upon them, and he must create powerful, formidable ancient warriors known as Phoenician hunters, making sure that the first progenitor of their people will become the bridge towards making sure that sacred peace and harmony would remain the same. As after that, he and his wife gave the loss of their power and the loss of their energy through his brothers, daughter, and son, making sure that they will use it for the greater good, not for the greater evil as well. Powers. Guys, his greater powers and his greater forbidden techniques are very, very powerful. The art of creation, the art of life, the art of death, long gravity, long immortality, the power of using cosmic energy and power, mythological languages to which he can speak as well, translation, resistance to telepathic, and also able to speak in any ancient language and any form of language as well. Greater power, the greater of teleportation, creation of manipulating environments to his own need, also with the greater power of cosmic, powerful creation force of literally tearing open a space between the space between time and veils on all of that, and also making sure that the space between universes and Milky Ways remains separate from each other as well. Good with the power of studying the entire universe, and very good with the power of art studying as well, learning everything he can about his creational powers and his abilities. Very good in absorbing, extracting natural powers and natural energy from the entire world. He's been studying his entire centuries and his entire life of how to controlling and balancing the power of natural powers and the power of balancing imbalanced powers and the power of balancing in balanced powers as well. He's very highly good due to his long gravity and due to his immortality rate. He believes that love and harmony is what is all that is needed for his people and for his kind to remain in peace and in harmony. To that end, he has managed to exactly gain thousands of mythical followers who have managed to learn from his teachings by going through other ancient dimensions where they can fully access the power of natural powers and of natural physical spiritual energy, to which he manages to create many ancient magical dimensions. That's how the magical fairies of the crystal fairies of the different wizards and warlocks and all of their kinds were quietly born, and some Druids became half Druids, and some became half witch, half Druid, became one of the most powerful exceptions due to the spiritual energy and the natural powers they were able to gain from the other realms and from the other dimension as well. He's very powerful, good with the power of teleportation, art of creation, power of great resurrection, meaning he can resurrect the entire land and recreate it back to its own natural habitat, and the power of controlling magical suns and universes at will. He's very good, and he does possess the power, formidable, the great forbidden technique of powers, and the great forbidden technique of hand-to-hand combat, marksmanship, weaponry, swordsmanship, very good and crafty and superly intelligent and highly very capable of learning and studying many different languages. He possesses the power of mind control, hypnosis, to which he can hypnotize anyone. As I said before, guys, he is the original progenitor. The blood DNA of the vampires, werewolves, witches, fairies, Four-Nation hunters, they all reside in him, which is also the most powerful, deadly hybrid of all the species. So he possesses an ancient staff that wields ancient orbs, and he's very powerful and crafty with dark magic and with dark energy, matter, reality, space-time, super speed, dark ability. He's heavily skilled. His eyes are different compared to the other eyes of the other creatures that I actually mentioned to you, because he sees energy. He sees the spiritual energy flowing across the entire land. He's very ancient, very powerful. He's very, very, very formidable and very powerful. He can adapt, evolve to a greater, higher standards. And he's very, 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 very powerful and very ancient as well. Legacy. His legacy of his abilities and powers will have been well known throughout the entire Sacred World's history, especially from Four-Nation hunters, Seven-Nation hunters, vampires, werewolves, witches, druids, and all like. They have been able to know about his legacy and his work. Some super villains and some super criminals have been so obsessed in trying to obtaining the power of the ancient Sacred Founder's abilities and of their great powers, such as Wolfstar, who is also the high-ranking member of the Darkstar organization, the one that I previously told you about on the previous episode and also on the previous day as well, who's been so obsessed with the art of creation in order to possessing its power and energy as well. His legacy has managed to live on and also lived on through the modern century of Sacred Society, especially with all the ancient criminal organization, summoning creatures, balancing the power of the monster statues, the creatures and the unknown monsters that was able to also control and compel in order to following his wishes in a right, respectful way. His powerful ancient teachings still remain through the dark druids, the dark seekers, the dark seconds, the dark witches, and the dark faithful, and the most powerful dark witches known as Witchcaster, Amber, the goddess of life, the original Lord of Magic, Lord Clay, and Lord Boy, and the other members of the criminal elite organizations who have been so obsessed in trying to gaining the power of immortality and learning the ability of adapting and highly evolving. His legacy is enduring, that it manages to attract many attention of good and evil forces that are willing to wage war each other in order to seizing power due to his reputation being known. He's very powerful and very ancient, that so badly that his followers have continued his work in full secrecy, and that the wars of Sacred Society are now being able to spiral out of control and attracted many deadly, sinister threats attention, such as the ice hunters, the fire hunters, and the other creatures. Due to his ability, he was able to manipulate the elemental forces of nature, such as fire power, wind power, air power, the power of lightning, electricity, and the power of great gravity and mobility as well, and the power of creating black rods and black energy at will, which he can also destroy the entire worlds and civilization with an anti-gravity based power as well. Due to him, all the forces of evil have been so obsessed in getting those techniques and powers, to which some have succeeded, others have hit a dead end in gaining those powers and those techniques as well. He's very good with the power of shapeshifting, camouflaging, stealth, and very highly intelligent as well. So badly intelligent that all the magical creatures and the dark creatures and all the other sinister animals and powerful hybrid core creatures and animals are also able to gain those abilities and powers as well. There's an ancient statue on him on the ancient waterfall of power, which represents the great Sacred Founder, him holding a staff and everything else, and the ancient story about him on the other ancient realm, to which is known as the realm of life and the realm of power, to where it houses the magical greater fairies and the magical greater druids, witches who live in harmony all together with the other mighty 4 nation hunters and the 7 nation hunters as well. His legacy remains, and he still remains the same, attracting deadly forces of good and evil and the other forces of evil, ancient criminal organizations that have formed the organizations, learning the techniques of life and the art of creation and the art of deception and the art of manipulation. He's very powerful, very crafty, and very good in manipulating the elemental forces of darkness and shadows at will, and very ancient and very, very, very powerful. Thanks to him, all the other ancient alien warlords and the destructive Shadow Empire, the Green Empire, the Red Empire, has able to learn the power and the forbidden secrets of the sacred founder, that his power also comes through their nations and through their people's nation, able to altering the physical appearance of their power and of the physical biology and of the physical philosophy as well. Due to his ideology, he's managed to gain many greater attention. In his legacy, in his ancient paintings and markings, drawings and statues of all his descendants, has managed to spread the word of his long giving life legacy. Summoning, resurrection, reincarnation, all of that. He's good in all of that. And he's still enduring after many thousands of centuries through until the modern century of sacred society, and of the modern century of sacred society and the modern century of the sacred great nations, of the clans, and many alien star systems, to which there are many ancient statues about him as well, due to him being highly recommended and known and knowledgeable as a godlike being and a creature, known to be respected for his power and his greater tremendous life of giving of life and harmony, to which he heavily believes into as well. And his legacy will always remain, as the origins have always believed that the mighty sacred founder was, after all, the mighty godlike being and sent from the heavens to beginning to making sure that the sacred world begins its true art of creation and art of appreciation, to which, thanks to them, that the origin race remains a supreme race and ruler. That is why the original Lord of Magic wanted to kill them, because the origin race do possess the energy of the children of destiny and the energy of the sacred founders, because they also are, after all, his descendants as well. But despite that, he's very powerful with energy manipulation and with purple, blue, any different types of energy manipulation. His statues of his descendants of himself are scattered throughout the entire sacred worlds and sacred great nations, borders and sectors, and many other star systems, except for humanity and except for the solar system. So he's very ancient, powerful, good, crafty with magic, science, and all of that, and very highly recommended and known as a godlike being, very powerful and very mysterious, possesses different ancient, powerful, forbidden techniques and powers as well, known to not to be underestimated. But he does love and respect his descendants and his children and the rest of his followers and the rest of his descendants, creatures, and of their creation, and is willing to make peace with them as well in the process. But he's now quietly dead, but his legacy remains on. As I said before, it has attracted many unwanted attention to good and evil forces and the other members of the anti-hero and the other members of the anti-hero villainous organizations and of the other clans that have quietly sworn allegiance to the organization itself. So he's definitely powerful and definitely highly known as a godlike being, and he's known by many aliases as a sacred founder, or the one founder who has done it all, through the impossible, through ancient archive books of mythical fairy knowledge, and throughout the entire sacred magic universe fairy knowledge, and throughout the entire sacred society of the 4 Nation Hunter archives, books, and ledgers and warlock history as well. He's known about that he is, after all, the most powerful of all the others. Well, that's it for today's episode, guys. I'll exactly see you on Monday. So I'll upload this episode on TikTok and on YouTube, and you'll receive it today. Appreciate your guys' support. Today's episode is the sacred founder of the sacred world and of the sacred world, to which you'll receive. Appreciate you guys. Love you and take care. Keep pushing, stay strong and stay positive, and always be happy and keep moving forward no matter what. You guys got this. I believe in you as you all believe in me, and you guys know exactly what you're doing. So trust yourself and believe in yourself, because you guys are also highly my inspiration as well as I inspired you as well. So keep pushing. You guys got this. Stay strong. Appreciate your support. Like and subscribe on Below Yours channel in YouTube and in TikTok. I would appreciate more subscribers and more supporters. Persuade your members and family who are highly interested in this. Would mean a lot to me. With that exactly being said, See you on Monday and take care and love you. Appreciate you all.